hey folks, and welcome to another week of Care Groups. I'm out here today at the track and field area for Lee University, and you may see kind of back in the distance behind me that the track teams, both the men and the women's, are doing some runs this morning. And I wanted to come out here because the image of running and the whole image of a race is part of what I wanted to talk with you about a little bit today. Now, growing up, I loved watching the Olympic Games. Now, don't get me wrong, I still tune in for these each year as an adult. I just find them fascinating, but I don't know, the experience of growing up as a kid and watching these incredible athletes perform and compete, it was just something magical almost about it. The dramatic stories that some of these athletes had about the obstacles that they had overcome to get to where they were, and then pushing themselves against all odds, competing for gold. Now, I have to tell you, if I had to pick between winter and summer Olympics, I probably always favored the summer a little bit more. I don't know, maybe it's just because there was something exciting about the summertime, and usually you were on school breaks, so you could watch them a little bit easier. But when it came to the Summer Olympics, the track and field events, like the kind that these folks behind me are practicing for, those were some of my favorites. Even watching on TV, thousands of miles away, just the sound of the stadium cheering as each runner sprinted toward the finish line, it was just amazing. I've read some interviews with athletes who competed in the Tokyo, I believe it was, Summer Olympics, which was held during the height of the COVID pandemic. And due to the restrictions at that time, there was no one allowed in the stadium to watch. It was just those on the track, running in an empty and quiet stadium. Some of the athletes from that Olympics have stated that it was difficult to maintain the energy, the drive, the perseverance without the sound of the crowd cheering them on. It seems to be a principle of our human nature that we keep our focus, we maintain our course when others are there to cheer us on. I believe the book of Hebrews has this image in mind. When it comes to community, each of us is running the race of faith, surrounded by the heavenly stadium of saints who have gone before us. They are cheering for us to finish the race well, to keep the faith. And in the day-to-day, it is others who are running right beside us, those who are right around us, who are there to spur us on, to encourage us to keep going even in tough circumstances. Olympic track and field has had its share of powerful moments when the beauty of community has been on display. Take, for instance, the 2016 Olympics, when runners Nikki Hamblin and Abby D'Agostino, I think I pronounced her name right, they collided on the track. These two women helped one another up and spurred one another to finish despite the circumstances. Or the 2020 Olympics, where Nigel Amos and Isaiah Jewett had a similar accident. Again, after falling, these two men helped one another up, put their arms around each other, and went to the finish line together. But probably the most powerful is from the 1992 Olympics, when runner Derek Redmond incurred an injury on the track. His father Jim came out of the stands to help his son finish the race. We may not remember who won the particular events from these Olympic Games, but we remember that care was shown when individuals stopped to help one another, to encourage and spur one another on to finish. Perhaps this is why the book of Hebrews encourages us to not give up meeting. Because here's the truth. You can't get to the finish line on your own. But the truth is, we are going to stumble at times in this race of faith. We are going to face moments when the hurt of this life slows us down and threatens to keep us from finishing. That's when we need each other the most. That's when our community helps to form us into people who can persevere to the finish line. John Wesley may not have been a star athlete, but he understood this truth. He believed that community was where we begin to form one another into people who can run this race of faith together. As the slogan is often used for the Olympic Games, we're better together. So let's not give up meeting, folks. Let's not give up our times of fellowship and worship together, because in these times, we can encourage one another, pick one another up, and help each other to reach the finish line of faith.